Okay, just a few comments about practice, and then I'll take the questions, and a reminder, no live stream.
We worked indoors today, second day. I thought we had good spirits. Guys are really practicing hard, flying to the ball. It's amazing what happens when you play really good competition. They definitely ramp up practices, and they know they're playing for something really important. So guys are excited. Still got some more work to do. Got a lot of young players out there, but they're all growing up.
Questions?
Coach, Nick Saban said yesterday that he felt Alabama was mentally tired, perhaps, with the slow starts. How have you managed to keep Georgia from falling into that trap of being mentally tired at this time?
I don't know. I mean, we started fast against Tech, and I think that had a lot to do with the preparation we had, because I thought the look we got from the offensive scout team and the focus our offense had in trying to protect our defense by possessing the ball, there was a lot of buy-in there, but we haven't always started fast this year either.
Speaking of preparation, I mean, as a coach, do you kind of know the week of, when as you go through practice, as you see your team prepare? I know you place a lot of emphasis on practice. You kind of know when your team's locked in and you feel like they're going to play really well by the week of practice, by kind of how you prepare day to day?
No, I don't think that's the case. I mean, you feel good by how your kids practice and lock in and focus, and I'd be lying to you if I said there wasn't more lock in and focus this week than there was UMass, but we don't make it that way. I mean, we go out and we focus and do a lot of the same things. We have a routine we do, and you don't break the routine. The intensity certainly probably ratchets up some, but to say that you ever feel comfortable with things, I don't think that would be the case. You're always trying to prepare every minute you have.
Alabama's obviously a team that doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses. One, they have struggled in special teams in the past. Obviously, that's one of the strengths of the Georgia team. Does that give you any kind of confidence going into a game like this that could be decided on this special team?
I know. I mean, I've been with Nick long enough to know he does a good job of special teams. I don't look at it as a weakness, because I look at their kickoff returner and their punt returner are two of the best in the whole country. I mean, elite. Have they struggled some with some kicks? Yeah, sure. But that hasn't been something new for them. I mean, they've dealt with that before, so they've overcome it with a lot of really strong special teams. I mean, they got the best kickoff coverage I think I've ever seen. They're flying down the field and knocking people's heads off. The kickoff returner and punt returner are elite, and they've got their starters who are all good players on those. So I don't look at it as their special teams are down. I think people measure that because of their punter and possibly because of their kicker.
How much does the recruiting overlap here affect it? Like when you're watching film, you know who all these guys are. Nick and his staff knows who all your guys are.
As far as knowing the personnel, or
Yeah, I mean, even not. I don't know if it matters like specifically the game planning, or just if it's just interesting.
Not really. I mean, I feel like I know less of their players now than ever. We played them last year. There's so many kids that I'd known, coached, and recruited, and now it's getting to be where it's more and more the ones that I recruited to come here, and didn't get, not the ones that I recruited there. Certainly know some of them, but not a lot of them. So I don't know how. I really don't know how it affects the game in any way. I don't think that's a big part of it.
Speaking of recruiting, what's that going to be like for y'all for these next 3 days, and then that next week after that?
The next 3 days are all prep for the game. I mean, you can go recruit, and we may at night send somebody somewhere if it's local, or be able to go see somebody. But certainly our sweat is being put in the bucket towards playing Alabama. It's not that we don't care about recruiting. We're still communicating with our recruits, but we can't really focus on that right now. And I think those kids respect that, because a lot of them are focused on their playoffs or their state championships. Now, in regards to when that ends and the game ends, it's ready, set, go. We're going out to full bore. I mean, we'll go out as soon as we can after the game.
What kind of correlation has there been between Baker 2 of this year as opposed to Baker last year in the Rose Bowl?
Correlation between the two. I think the offenses are really completely different. I mean, both are elite quarterbacks and both are extremely athletic. I see where you're going with the similarities of the two quarterbacks, but I mean, style offense is pretty different. But they're both talented. And we had a long time to prepare for Baker, and we obviously didn't do a good job, but we had a long time to prepare. This is not a short week; it's just a normal week.
Kirby, you said you guys were playing for something really important. think you said also in the past that you want this program to be significant. Are games like this what you have in mind?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I think becoming relevant and significant is every game. I mean, when you play on national TV and you play in the SEC, you have a chance to be relevant and significant every week. But certainly this is, you know, it's a wall game. It's for a number. It goes up on these walls in here, and if you get to put numbers up in here, especially on that side of the room, it's special. And that's what you're playing for. You're playing for a championship. So.
Alabama's got this beat everybody by 21 points or more, which hasn't happened since like 1888 through 12 games. When you look at them on film, do you say that this could be the best? I mean, are they that? Is it?
They're pretty good. They're really good. They're a good team. I mean, they're explosive. They've got. I don't see the weaknesses because everybody talks about the kicking game, but I mean, it's they're explosive. They're really talented. They're doing a good job, and they're playing at a high level. I mean, really, you can say they've been tested, but I mean, the thing is, when they get on top of you, they know how to finish. They attack teams. Are constantly attacking. I mean, the pressure's never off. You know, I had several coaches after the games we played them this year that said, "Man, y'all put pressure on people in every area. You know, there's no phase of offense, defense, kicking game. That's like there's always pressure." It's Alabama. They're just really, really good at putting pressure on you, whether it's offensively, defensively, or special teams.
How much?
There's so many ways they can win the game.
How much of Tua is the ad lib ability? I mean, I don't. You know, we see him roll, we see him make plays. How much does it?
Oh, I don't think that he's ad lib at all. I mean, he can, and he resorts to that if things don't go right. But he can sit in the pocket and make every throw. I mean, he's very confident and I don't know the right word. He's got presence about him in the pocket that he doesn't fear rush. He doesn't fear contact. This guy's bearing down on him and sidesteps him, whips the ball out. That's what makes him really special. That he's whipping it to some really good dudes.
Coach, on the second and 26 last year, you guys have obviously been really good at not letting people behind you this year. It's been a specialty of your secondary. Was there any takeaway out of that game? It looked like a simple blown coverage, you know.
I don't think there's any takeaway in the game. I mean, the quarterback made a good play. He looked off a veteran safety and did a good job firing the ball. I think he knew where he was going with the ball the whole time, and he's really good at setting up DBs and safeties. He's very has good intuition where he wants to throw the ball.
Can I follow on that real quick? Dom Sanders, I mean, that's a guy, he literally started every game for Georgia, was I think except with the exception of one he had a targeting. We never did get to talk to him after that game. I tried to approach him in the Pro Bowl, your Pro Day about it. He still hasn't talked about that game. I don't know whether you.
What does that have to do with?
Well, my question is, did you ever get to talk? I mean, the guy had a great career, but it's like that he's remembered for that play.
I don't think he's remembered that play. I think he's remembered for all the picks he had and all the great things he did. I don't think that's relevant to this conversation. I really don't. I mean, I love the kid. The kid gave everything he had for Georgia and appreciate everything he did. I mean, I played that position. It's not an easy position to play. So leave it to you guys to talk about that, and we'll talk about Alabama in this week's game.
As far as Monty Rice, we saw him out there at practice. Did he ever do anything else to Robert Beal?
Yeah, Monty was able to move around and do some things. He did a little more as practice went on. We hope that he's going to be able to do more tomorrow is the hope. He ran some today, he cut some, did some things. Beal's injured right now.
Everybody kind of approaches competition different. Could you kind of take us into, not before a game, day of a game? I mean, are you nervous? Are you fired up? Are you excited? I mean, how do you handle it? And is it any different than the way you did when you were a player?
I can't remember much about being a player. I mean, I was excited, I guess nervous. I don't know. I'm pretty nervous about everything. So, I mean, competitive, want to do well, work hard at it, and certainly once you prepare, and there's only so much you can do. I get most comfortable the closer the game gets because I realize there's not a lot you can do. I'm more intense leading up to because I want to get all the hay in the barn, and when the hay's in the barn, there's not a lot I can do. So it's like, hey, let the players go play, show confidence in the players, and let them go make plays.
With Alabama being such a powerhouse team, what advantages do you see that Georgia does or could have in this game?
I don't know. I think we'll find that out when we go play them.
Follow up on the linebackers, obviously, we don't know whether or not Monty's going to be able to go, but the guy who stepped up in the past is Jenny Tyndall. Is that a guy that you're looking to obviously step up if Monty's not able to go?
Yeah, it'll be by committee. I mean, with Monty, he's been down, since, before match, right? It happened in the warm-ups, I guess. So, I mean, he's been down 2 games. We've had to play other guys. Channing's played some. Quay's beginning to step up and play. Natrez has been dinged up. He keeps pushing through. So we're a wounded warrior unit when it comes to defensive, especially the linebacker position, because Jawan and Tay continue to push through. Natrez is a little beat up, but we'll lean on the guys we got, and we're trying to get those guys prepared right now best we can.
What about Jaquan Hawkins, Michael? Is he available this week? Can he have a role?
He may be back for the game. I'm not sure if he was able to practice today for the first time in a long time.
So you said he was or wasn't?
He was able to practice today for the first time in a long time.
Just from a speed standpoint, how is your secondary matchup against the wide receivers?
Well, I don't know. I don't have any GPS numbers. I don't know how
I
fast they're.
understand.
On tape, they're really fast. You know, they've got fast guys. We've got some guys in our secondary that have run some fast track times, but it's really not about that. It's about who can cover who can match up and get hands on people. And if you got all day back there, then it probably doesn't matter anyway, because eventually there's somebody gonna get open. So we've got to affect the quarterback and do a good job. But I don't know who's faster. I guess we'll find out Saturday.
How quick during games do you say I've got to adjust something, or are you good with it? Is it the first series even, or is that too fast?
No, I mean, I think
Yeah.
first series, maybe jitters and guys still trying to get over it. You've got to stick with your plan and feel comfortable with your plan. There comes a point where the plan's not working.
Right.
You got to go to plan B or plan C, but,
What about back and forth games though, Kirby? I mean, last year games can become back and forth like Oklahoma last year, et cetera.
sure. I think you adjust throughout the game. I think if they're doing different things, you gotta have different answers. We try to always have different looks. As a defense, we try to save something for the second half. As an offense, we always try to have a script coming out in the second half. And I think offensively, more than anything, we've had some really good opening second half drives. And I think a lot of that's preparation and coaching. So we try to do a really good job of that.
2 more questions?
As rare as it was to have 2 different running backs run for 1,000 yards last year, you now have 2 different guys within reach of that. Did you think it could be that kind of year for the running game for a new set of running backs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I knew we had a good offensive line coming back. I didn't know we'd lose so many of them. Kind of different games. It seemed like we had to shuffle everybody, but I knew we were talented on the offensive line. We had good backs, so I knew we would have an opportunity, whether it be two 1,000-yard rushers. We're not there yet, and we're trying to get there, but we probably could have had that. Some of the games we've had, we've taken those kids out. Some of those kids hadn't played much in game.
Do those 2 guys feed off each other? It seems to be a healthy competition for bragging rights.
Yeah, I don't even know if they see it as competition. I really don't. Those 2 guys are such team players. There's no ego in either one of them. I think they're more about the team, and they would rather see each one of them do well.